on the camera as we were watching it here. That's always exciting whenever that happens. It feels like it did it just for us. Our chief meteorologist Todd Howell joins us now with a full check of that forecast. And Todd, you just never know when those storms are just going to pop up out of nowhere.
Oh, some frequent lightning. This storm in South Knox County now has a flood advisory tied to it. We're looking at Doppler radar estimating. Look at that popping. I'm going to move the camera around just a second, but Doppler radar estimating over 1.5 inches of rain. And just in the last little bit, it's a slow building thunderstorm, slow moving, I should say. It's actually retrograding back to the north slightly. So let me take you over. This is our downtown Knoxville camera. We're going to pan on over just a little bit because this is the storm we're looking at pretty much just south of Knoxville. Look at that. Just south of Knoxville, tilted up a little bit. Make sure we're all the way zoomed out, and not quite, so I can zoom out a little bit more, and you can see that lightning pop in the sky. Matter of fact, this is a look at our downtown Knoxville camera. Let me switch sources and show you what it looks like from our tower camera. Yeah, and take a look at that view as well. You can see that as we look off in the distance. Again, that's a look at that storm that is south of Knoxville and continuing to basically move back a little bit more north. So this is the storm that we're going to keep an eye on. And let me go ahead and zoom on in and show you what's happening right now from Market Square. It's dry in Market Square, but it's absolutely pouring down Alcoa Highway just south of Knoxville and down into northern Blount County. Now, meanwhile, after the heavy rain gets out of here, at least in some areas, we got a full buck moon tonight. It rose at 9:17. We'll set tomorrow morning at 6:55. All right, so here's what we're looking at. Let's get right to it. I'll, of course, zoom on in. We don't have a whole lot of activity, but we do in South Knox County. Again, look at this storm. It is basically, it's been stationary, but now it's actually growing and building back to the north. So here's the flood advisory in place till midnight, but the heavy rainfall rates are actually propagating and actually moving from northern Blount County more up into Knox County. So we are seeing a little bit more movement just in the last 10 minutes or so. So this is making it back up. Torrential rainfall into Sequoia Hills and Bearden Hill area. Heavy rainfall, likely can hear that on the rooftop just to the west of Knoxville. Again, dry in downtown, but torrential rainfall rates. So watch out for flooded roads. Again, minor flooding is possible. Now, when we have an advisory, that's typically for low-end threshold of, in this case, minor flooding. If it's a flash flood warning, that's a little bit more of an upgrade and a little bit more of a serious nature in terms of the potential flooding. So hopefully we don't see that, but we do have a flood advisory, that initial advisory criterion threshold for some minor flooding, street flooding, urban and small streams and creeks, likely in gullies could flood and get out of the bank. So a lot of street flooding, a lot of ponding. Again, I just wanted to take off that flash flood or flood advisory, and show you the heavy rainfall, Kingston Pike, right along the interstate. There you see some of that frequent lightning again. So for northern Blount County, also into West Knox County, that's something we're going to keep an eye on. And there's a look at our Doppler radar estimating just over 1.5 inches of rain, but this is building northward up into Sequoia Hills and Bearden, just west of Knoxville. Elsewhere, spotty showers up on the plateau earlier. Those have kind of wound down. Our high-res model shows this thunder shower, heavy rain core, should slowly dissipate, particularly just after midnight, and will likely have some areas of dense fog early in the morning. And so heads up on that, allow some extra time for your morning commute. Just a basically typical forecast the next couple of days. Seasonally warm to hot around 90 degrees. We do have that chance for some spotty thunderstorms for your Friday, and a little bit better chance, high-res model showing a little bit more activity, perhaps late Saturday into the evening. And then we'll have still a chance for scattered thunderstorms for Sunday, Monday, highs around 90 degrees into early next week. All right, so safe travels in South Knoxville with that flood advisory in place until midnight. Let's go back to you, Katie.